The bolted door. I just moved into a new apartment, a cheap old place I found on Craigslist. It wasn't perfect. The paint was peeling, the pipes made strange noises at night, and the floorboards creaked with every step. But for the price, I couldn't complain. I told myself it was just character. The first week went by without much incident. I spent most of my time unpacking and settling in. It was during one of those unpacking sessions that I discovered the door. It was hidden behind a loose panel in the living room wall, barely noticeable unless you were looking for it. It was small, no more than 3 feet tall, and painted the same faded white as the rest of the wall. At first, I thought it was just an old storage space, or maybe an access point for wiring. But when I tried to open it, I realized it was bolted shut. That struck me as odd. Who bolts a storage door from the outside? The curiosity gnawed at me for days. I texted my landlord about it, but they brushed it off, saying, "It's probably nothing, just an old feature of the building." That didn't sit right with me. So one night, I decided to open it myself. I grabbed my toolbox and unscrewed the bolts. The door creaked open and a damp, musty smell wafted out. Inside was a narrow, dark tunnel. It was cramped, like it wasn't meant for anyone to crawl through. My flashlight illuminated a small staircase leading downward. I hesitated. Every instinct told me to close the door and forget I'd ever found it, but the mystery pulled me in. What could be down there? I told myself it might be old storage or some weird architectural quirk. I crouched down and crawled inside. The tunnel was colder than the rest of the apartment, and the deeper I went, the more the smell intensified, a mix of mold and something metallic, like rust or blood. At the bottom of the staircase was a tiny, windowless room. The walls were made of rough stone, damp and glistening in the beam of my flashlight. In the middle of the room was a single wooden chair, old and rotting. On the floor, directly in front of the chair, was a broken mirror. The mirror looked ancient, its frame ornate but tarnished. Cracks spiderwebbed across its surface, and faint, bloody handprints stained the glass. My heart pounded as I stepped closer. It felt wrong, like I wasn't supposed to be there. Then I saw it. In the mirror's fractured reflection, something moved, something that wasn't me. A dark shape, hunched and contorted, stood behind me. I spun around, flashlight shaking, but nothing was there. My breath came in short gasps, and I felt cold sweat on my back. I turned back to the mirror, and that's when I saw it again. The figure was closer now, its pale, twisted face staring directly at me. The flashlight flickered and died. I screamed and scrambled up the stairs, my knees banging against the stone. When I reached the top, I slammed the little door shut and bolted it back in place. I didn't sleep that night. In fact, I haven't slept much at all since then. Sometimes, late at night, I hear faint scratching sounds coming from behind the wall. I tell myself it's just the pipes or the old building settling, but deep down, I know better. The door was bolted shut for a reason, and I never should have opened it.